Dear students, today we will discuss three new points in chapter 1, Introduction of Taxation, part 3. Points are constitutional provisions for taxation in India. Number 2, amendments made by constitution, that is 101st Amendment Act 2016. And third one, Goods and Services Tax Council, Article 279A. Constitutional provisions as regards taxation in India. Power to levy and collect taxes emerges from the Constitution of India. Article 245 of the Constitution confers the power on the Parliament and on legislature of the state for enacting the laws. In case any tax law, be it an act, rule, notification, or order, is not in conformity with the Constitution, it is called ultra vires the Constitution and is illegal and void. The significant provisions relating to constitutions are as under. First point, taxes not to be imposed save by authority of law. Article 265. Number 2, extent of laws made by Parliament and by legislatures of the states. Article 245. Number 3, subject matter of laws made by Parliament and by legislatures of states. Article 246. And fourth point, 7 schedule to Article 246. First, list 1, union list, entries 82 to 92C of list 1. Number 2, list 2, state list, entries 45 to 63 of list 2. And third one, list 3, that is concurrent list. Now dear students, let us discuss all 4 points one by one. First is taxes not to be imposed save by the authority of law. Article 265. The power for enacting this article of the Constitution of India prohibits arbitrary collection of tax. It states that no tax shall be levied or collected except by authority of law. It means Article 265 empowers the government, both central government and state government, through Parliament and the legislature, to collect and levy the tax. Number 2, extent of laws made by Parliament and by legislature of state. Article 245. The power for enacting the laws is conferred on the Parliament and on the legislature of a state by Article 245 of the Constitution. The said article provides that, subject to the provisions of the Constitution, Parliament may make laws for the whole or any part of the territory of India, and the legislature of a state may make laws for the whole or any part of the state. Now, next, no law made by the Parliament shall be deemed to be invalid on the ground that it would have extraterritorial operations. Next, number 3, subject matter of laws made by Parliament and by legislatures of the states. Article 246. It gives the respective authority to union and state governments for levying tax, whereas Parliament may make laws for the whole of India or any part of the territory of India. The state legislature may make laws for whole or part of the state. Point number 4, 7 schedule to Article 246. There are three lists. List 1, Union list, entries 82 to 92C of list 1. 7 schedule to Article 246. It contains three lists which enumerate the matters under which the union and the state governments have the authority to make laws. The three lists are: List 1, Union list. The central government has exclusive powers to make laws in respect of matters listed here in list 1, entries 82 to 92C. Now list 2, state list. The state government has the powers to make laws in respect of matters listed here in entries 45 to 63 of list. And list 3, concurrent list. The authority to make laws in respect of matters listed in the said list is given to both the central and state governments. Now we will discuss the significant amendments made by the Constitution Act 2016, that is known 101st Amendment Act 2016. First is concurrent powers. Second, integrated goods and services tax. Third one, interstate supply. Fourth, alcoholic liquor for human consumption. Fifth, no GST on petroleum products. And sixth one, Constitution of GST Council, Article 279A. Now let us discuss all these amendments in detail. First is concurrent powers. Parliament and state legislatures have been given concurrent powers to make laws governing taxes on goods and services. Number 2, integrated goods and services tax. Integrated goods and services tax is to be levied on interstate transactions of goods and services. The same is collected by the central government and apportioned between the union and the states in the manner provided by Parliament by law as per the recommendation of the GST Council. Number 3, interstate supply. Principles for determining the place of supply and when a supply takes place in the course of interstate trade or commerce shall be formulated by the Parliament by law. Number 4, alcoholic liquor for human consumption. GST will be levied on all supply of goods and services except alcoholic liquor for human consumption. Next, no GST on petroleum product. GST shall not be levied on the petroleum products till a date to be notified on the recommendations of the GST Council. And the petroleum products are petroleum crude oil, high speed diesel, motor spirit commonly known as petrol, natural gas and aviation turbine fuel. Next, Constitution of GST Council, Article 279A. Article 279A of the Constitution empowers the President to constitute a joint forum of the center and states, namely Goods and Services Tax Council, that is GST Council. Now let us analyze the Constitution's 101st Amendment Act 2016. The major amendments made in the following articles. Number 1, Article 366 gave definition of goods and services tax in 12A and services in 26A. Second, Article 246A special provision with respect to goods and services tax, that is concurrent power, interstate transactions and petroleum products. Third amendment in Article 269A, that is levy and collection of goods and services tax in the course of interstate trade or commerce. Levy of interstate GST, imports subject to integrated tax, cross utilization of IGST and SGST, and supply whether interstate supply or not principles. And Article 279A with regard to GST Council. Now let us discuss all these amendments in detail. First one, Article 366 gave definition. Article 366 sets out definitions of goods and service tax. 12A, goods and services tax means any tax on supply of goods or services or both, except taxes on the supply of the alcoholic liquor for human consumption. From the definition of goods and services tax as per the Article 366(12)(a), it is clear that the alcoholic liquor for human consumption would always be remain outside the scope of GST. 26A, services. Services means anything other than the goods. Now, Second Amendment, Article 246A, special provisions with respect to goods and services tax. First is concurrent power. This article grants power to center and state governments to make laws with respect to GST imposed by center or such state. Number 2, interstate transactions. Exclusive power with center. Center has the exclusive power to make laws with respect to GST in case of interstate supply of goods and or services. And third one, petroleum products. Petroleum products outside the purview of GST till notified date. However, in respect of the following goods, the aforesaid provision shall apply from the date recommended by the GST Council, that is petroleum crude oil, high speed diesel, motor spirit, that is petrol, natural gas and aviation turbine fuel. Third Amendment, Article 269A, levy and collection of goods and services tax in the course of interstate trade or commerce. First one, levy of interstate GST. Article 269A stipulates that GST on supplies in the course of interstate trade or commerce shall be levied and collected by the Government of India that is central government, and such tax shall be apportioned between union and the states in the manner as may be provided by Parliament by law on the recommendations of the GST Council. Number 2. Imports subject to integrated tax. Further, import of goods or services or both into India will also be deemed to be supply of goods and or services in the course of interstate trade or commerce. This will give power to central government to levy IGST, that is integrated goods and services tax, on the import transactions which were earlier subject to countervailing duties, that is CVD, under the Customs Tariff Act 1975. Third one, cross utilization of IGST and SGST. Where an amount collected as IGST has been used for payment of SGST or vice versa, such amount shall not form part of the consolidated fund of India or states. This is to facilitate transfer of funds between the center and the state governments. Next, supply whether interstate supply principles. Principles to be formulated by Parliament. That is, Parliament is empowered to formulate the principles regarding place of supply and when supply of goods or of services or both occurs in interstate trade or commerce. Now, amendment in Article 279A for GST Council. Article 279A of the Constitution empowers the President to constitute a joint forum of the Centre and States, namely Goods and Services Tax Council, that is GST Council. The provisions relating to GST Council came into force on 12 September 2016, and President constituted the GST Council on 15th September 2016. Now we will discuss on Goods and Services Tax Council, Article 279A. Article 279A discuss about the constitution of GST Council, members of the GST Council, vice chairperson of the GST Council, and role of GST Council. Let us discuss one by one. Constitution of GST Council. Article 279A of the Constitution empowers the President of India to constitute a joint forum of the Centre and States, namely Goods and Services Tax Council, that is GST Council. The provisions relating to GST Council came into force on 12th September 2016, and the President constituted the GST Council on 15th September 2016. Number 2. Members of the GST Council. The GST Council shall consist of the members, namely, first one, the Union Finance Minister of this council is the chairman. The Union Minister of States in charge of revenue or finance will be the members of the council. the minister in charge of finance or taxation or any other minister nominated by each state government will be the members of the council. Next, vice chairperson. The state finance ministers shall choose one amongst themselves as vice chairperson of the council for such period as they may decide. And last, the role of GST council. The GST council shall make recommendations to the union and the states on number 1, the taxes, cesses and surcharges levied by the union, the states and the local bodies which may be subsumed in the goods and services tax. Number 2, the goods and services that may be subjected to or exempted from the goods and services tax. Number 3, model of goods and services tax laws, principles of levy, apportionment of GST levied on supplies in the course of interstate trade or commerce, and the principles that govern the place of supply. This would be the third recommendation of GST Council. Number 4th, the threshold limit of turnover below which goods and services may be exempted from goods and services tax. Fifth recommendation or a role of GST would be the rates including floor rates with bands of goods and services tax. Next, any special rate or rates for a specified period to raise additional resources during any natural calamities or disaster. Next, special provisions with respect to the states of Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Jammu and Kashmir, Manipur, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Nagaland, Sikkim, Tripura, Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand. And last, any other matter relating to the GST as the council may decide. Now, the GST council will settle the disputes between the government of India and one or more states, or between the government of India and any state or states on one side and one or more other states on the other side, or between two or more states arising out of the recommendations of the council and implementation thereof. The GST council shall establish a mechanism to adjudicate any disputes. Dear students, so today we discussed few topics in first chapter, Introduction of Taxation in India, that is about the constitutional provisions, significant provisions, significant amendments made in Constitution, that is 101st Amendment Act 2016. We studied the analysis of major changes in Articles 366, 246A, 269A, 279A, and we discussed about the constitution of GST Council and its role. Dear students, thank you very much for watching this video lecture. For remaining part of the chapter 1, we will meet very soon with new video.